Okay, let's dig into this. Today we're doing a deep dive based on a really interesting source.
Hmm.
It's called Guinea Pigs, Therapeutic Companions and Educators.
Right.
And our mission really is to pull out the key insights from this material. How are these animals, you know, guinea pigs, actually making a difference therapeutically?
And educationally, too.
Exactly. And maybe, more surprisingly, why does this source think they're so well suited for it?
Well, I think the main takeaway right up front from this specific source is that guinea pigs, they're really gaining popularity
Yeah.
for emotional support, for therapy, and the source lays out, a bunch of specific benefits they offer.
Across different groups and places.
Precisely. It's not just saying that they can be used. The material explains why they seem to be effective in these roles.
That's what's so fascinating, I think, because you often picture, well, bigger animals for this sort of thing, right?
Sure, dogs, maybe horses sometimes.
But this source makes a really strong case for guinea pigs. It actually details, what, 5 specific ways they're used?
That's right. 5 key areas highlighted in the text.
So let's start with maybe the most familiar one, emotional support. How does this source frame the guinea pig's role there?
Well, the material really emphasizes how good they are for providing comfort, companionship.
For people dealing with mental health stuff.
Exactly, like anxiety, depression, even trauma, it mentions. The source points out their quiet nature,
Less intimidating, maybe.
yeah, and predictable behavior compared to maybe bigger or more active animals, especially for people feeling vulnerable. They offer this kind of calm, steady presence,
Okay.
which the source directly links to, you know, reducing feelings of isolation, giving a sense of security.
Right, that makes sense. And building on that interaction idea, the source also talks about social skills development. That sounds important, especially for kids.
Oh, absolutely. The material makes a strong argument there, particularly for children. It mentions kids with autism spectrum disorder or other developmental differences.
How does that work in practice, according to the source?
It describes these structured interactions, like, gently petting them, feeding them specific treats,
Okay.
or even just watching how they behave.
Mhm.
It gives them these low-pressure chances to practice communication.
Understanding cues.
Nonverbal cues, yeah, and learning turn-taking, like when caring for the animal.
Hmm.
The guinea pig is sort of a non-judgmental partner in all this.
Which probably helps lower anxiety around social stuff.
That's what the source suggests, yes.
So it's active, guided interaction, not just having them around. What about more formal therapy, like animal-assisted therapy? How does the source see them fitting in there?
What's interesting is how the source positions them almost as, like, facilitators within the therapy process itself.
How so?
Their presence can help patients feel more relaxed, maybe more open,
Okay.
which then makes them more willing to engage with the therapist, talk about maybe difficult things.
Right.
And the material notes their small size and quiet nature are practical advantages too, good for different settings.
Like bedside visits.
Yeah.
Or small
Yeah.
groups.
Exactly, where maybe space is tight or patients can't move easily. It's an interesting contrast the source implies with, say, how larger therapy animals might be used.
And it's not just kids or clinical settings, right? The source specifically mentions elderly care.
Yes, this is a really crucial application, the material details. For older adults, especially in residential care,
Yeah.
interactions with guinea pigs can apparently make a big difference against loneliness and isolation.
How does the source connect those dots?
It links these interactions directly to more social activity between residents. They become conversation starters.
Okay.
And it even encourages a bit of gentle physical activity, petting or helping with care. The source highlights how just having that soft, warm creature,
Yeah.
it's emotionally uplifting.
A connection to the living world.
That's the idea presented in the material, yeah.
Okay. And the last area the source covered was educational programs. What's the angle there?
The material frames this around teaching really basic, important life skills.
Mm-hmm.
Responsibility, empathy.
Respectful animal care.
Exactly. It describes programs where kids learn about the animal's needs, feeding, cleaning, handling them gently.
So it's practical learning.
Yes, but according to the source, it also fosters connection, boosts self-esteem because they're successfully caring for something.
Learning compassion through action.
Learning compassion, understanding others' needs,
Yeah.
all through looking after the animal. That's the perspective in this material.
Okay, so if we recap, just based on this specific source we've been discussing, it really lays out 5 key uses.
Mm-hmm.
There's direct emotional support,
Yep. Comfort and companionship for mental health.
helping develop social skills, especially for kids with certain needs.
Right. learning interaction cues,
facilitating formal animal-assisted therapy sessions,
and making patients feel more relaxed and engaged,
providing real benefits in elderly care.
reducing that loneliness, promoting social interaction,
And finally, serving in educational programs.
teaching responsibility, empathy, connection. Those are the core applications this source focuses on.
And when you connect all those points from the source of presence, giving comfort, helping social skills, aiding therapy, easing loneliness, teaching responsibility, it does make you pause.
It does.
It shows a surprising, range and depth of positive impact that this source attributes to these small animals
Yeah.
across so many different ages and needs.
Yeah, and it leads to a pretty interesting question, thinking only about what we've pulled from this document.
What's that?
How do these specific roles detailed right here in the source, from just providing comfort to helping with complex social learning to education, how does that maybe challenge or expand our usual ideas, our conventional understanding of what therapy or support or even, a meaningful educational tool can actually look like?
Smash that like button and make sure to subscribe. Squeak!